Alright, in this video we are going to see how to create product review system. As you can see, this is a product. We have left some reviews. So before that, this is the 35th PHP mini project work. So in case if you want to learn similar to this kind of mini work, I have a complete playlist which has almost 35 videos. I'll leave this link in the description so that you can follow along. Fine. And not to forget, I'm going to leave this project tutorial, this project source code also in the description, so you can download it and code along with me. So the first thing what we are going to do is I'm going to explain it what this project really does. So this is a product. Let's just give a review, and I'm going to leave 5 star, and I'm going to name it as you need to type your name. So let me type John, and then the message I'm going to give is value for money, and click on submit. And this is a third review for this particular project. Now you can see this is the review which we have left. The name is John, the starting letter J is shown here, and then we have left the 5-star rating. The 5-star rating is also shown here, and the text value for money is available here, and this is the time which we have left the review. Now we have total 3 reviews, so you can see we have an average of 2.7 out of 5. So this is the total review, and then we have the number of reviews, individual number of reviews. We have 1 5-star review, we have 1 2-star review, and we have 1 1-star review. So this is 5, 3 and 2. Alright, now that's all. Now let's get into the database. So the database we are going to create is, let's click on new, let's name it as rating. So already we have seen we need 5 columns, so the database name is going to be ratings. Click on create, and the total number of columns is 5, and the table name you can leave it as rating itself. Let me have it on the side so it will be easy for me to connect with the PHP. Click on go, and we need to create individual columns. The first column, as you have guessed, it's the primary ID, primary key. It is going to be int, and it will be auto incremented. And then we have the name, the user who left the review, varchar, the length is 200, and the rating, it is going to be int. Instead of int, let's just make it as varchar itself, and the size, the length is 200, and then we have message, varchar 200, the date time, the particular day where we have left the review, that data will be saved in this particular column. Click on save. Once this is done, we can see the structure. Click on browse, we have review ID, name, rating, message and date time. Cool. Now let's start creating a file on the C drive. As I'm using XAMPP, so the file I need to access is htaccess. The name of the folder, let's just give this as rating. Now inside the rating we need 3 files. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. Now we need 4 files in total. The first one HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the the form value that need to be accessed. So I'll name this as data-submit.php. Let's open that folder which we have created right now, which is rating on htaccess file. XAMPP, not on XAMPP, we are already on the htdocs. So the rating, click on select folder. Now here we need to create four files. Let me pause it. At present it's blank. Let's create a new file and save it as index.php. index.html can be done, and then we need to create style.css, then script.js. The ajax code will be writing it on script.js. You can give any name. The condition is we have to link this on the HTML, and then data_submit.php. We'll be creating a form on HTML, so that once we click on submit on the form, the data will be sent to this particular page. Alright, now we would be using Bootstrap, so I'm just copying the Bootstrap template available on W3 School and pasting it on HTML. So if I access it, so localhost / rating was a folder name. Click on enter. Now you will see basic HTML template. So let's start creating the HTML for now. So before that, let's just link the CSS and the script tag. Script.js. Fine. And now we need to create a container. Inside the container we need a row, and we need 3 columns. So call 4 that need to be pasted 2 more times. Now let's just add the image. So it's just an image tag. So let me see how does this looks. Cool. I have given height and width as 200. Now on the first column we need 2 things. The first one is the h1 and the second one is the star. As you see in the intro, the rating, the star, and then the total number of reviews. So this ID is really very important. Average rating, total review. I have saved this over here. Average rating, total reviews. Cool. Now on the second column we need to show the progress bar. Let me show you the output first. So you can see this is the first thing. We are going to copy paste it multiple times. Paste it here. So let me show you the first one. Don't worry, you'll get the source code in the description box. So here we have a holder class which is getting repeated multiple times. So let's see what this holder has. So the holder has 2 things. The first one is the column. You can see 5 and a star, 5 and star, and then we have the rating, number of rating, and the second line is simply the progress bar. So I'll paste the CSS also. So I've just used the display flex. You can see holder, display flex, so it will go on side by side. Now let's see how does this look. And the third thing is simply the add review button. Let us add the fourth column, sorry, third column. It's simply the add review button. Then we need to create a model which will hold the HTML value, HTML tag. So as you know, the model has header, body and footer. So this is header, we don't have footer for this, and this is body. Inside the body we have stars, and then we have the name, and then we have the message, and then we have send, the submit button. So here you can see, along with the star I am passing the data rating attribute for one. This is second star, this is third, fourth and fifth, and I have added the unique ID as well. Now if I see the final output, so once I click on this, I want to show the model. So for that, let's get into script. We are going to write jQuery, and here if I click on a button, I want the model to show. So this is the model ID and this is the ID for the button. So if I refresh and click on add, it is not showing up. Now we need to see whether we have linked this properly. Yes, we have linked it. Now let's get into the inspect, and on the console it says no error. Let's try hard refreshing it. Control U, click on script.js. Yes, we are able to see the link is proper. Let's just try giving alert. Refresh it. Yes, it's working. So when I click on the button, I want to show the alert. That's also working. What's wrong with model? So we have ID model. This is not working. So that code will be available over here. Cut this, paste this below, sorry, above. Yeah, it's opening up. Click on add review. Now the model shows up. Let's remove the alert. We don't need the style. Add review. Now you can see the model pops up. So to show the star, we need the font awesome. So let's just link this and let me show you. Click on add review. Now you can see. Now what I need is, when I hover it, I want the color to change. So for that, let's get into the JavaScript. Now if you see, on mouse enter on the submit star, I have added the class on the model for all the stars. So once I mouse enter, I want the data hyphen rating. If you see, data hyphen rating is there, and we have to store this into a variable. Since we have multiple data rating on a particular document, almost 5, and I'm running it on a loop, and I'm adding the class text warning, so it would be an orange color. So now if you see, refresh it again, add review, 1 2 3, but it is not going backward. To go backward, we need to create another function. and that would simply reset. So what it will do is, we have 5, so I'm running it 5 times. So each time it will remove the class text warning and add the class starlight. The starlight is a CSS. I have just given the color something like grayish. So each time I hover it, the reset star is going to work. Here see, I'm able to remove it. So that's working. Now we are able to drag, but the only thing is, if I click 5 and leave it, it will go away. You can see, if I click it and leave, I on mouse leave, the star is getting normal color, so that we don't want. So to do that, what we need to do is, we have to run the same thing on click event. Now if you see, on clicking the star, I am getting the data attribute and storing into a variable, and we know there are many rating values, so I'm running it for loop, and each time I'm adding the class text warning. So in this case, even if I click and leave, it is going to stay. Click and leave, it is going to stay. You need to hard refresh it. Click, leave, stay. Click and leave, it is going to stay. Now I'm typing something, and I need to pass these value with the help of ajax. So we need to create an ajax. So if you see, we have form, the ID, the username, sorry, the ID and the name is important, because we will be sending this name to the server. ID, and then the submit button. So once I click on the submit button, we have to write the script, the ajax script. Now if you see, if I click on the button, I'm getting the username and the message. If it is not blank, then pass this to the file called data submit. So this is the rating value. So on clicking, I'll be getting this. So we need to make this as a global variable as 0. We are passing the rating value, the username, the user message. So these are the ID. Previously I said name. We are not using the name, we are using the ID, and passing it to the file data-submit. And then on clicking after that, we'll be, if the data is sent, and we'll look this in some time. So let's work on the data. So the first thing what we need to do is, we need to give database connection. Let's start giving database connection. So this is the database connection. Localhost username is root, and the password is blank for XAMPP, and the table is, so the database is rating for this. Now we have to check whether there is data. So we are sending this. First we are checking whether we have connection, sorry, we have value on the variable called rating underscore value. So this is what we have sent over here. You can see rating value. So we are trying to access this on the PHP. If it is set, then we need to receive all the input field value. So to receive this, post, we are using post method on the ajax as itself. We have used post, so that's why I'm accessing it with post. the rating, the username and the password, and the time, the current time. Then we need to write SQL to insert this into database. So the SQL query with the table rating, I'm using name, rating, message and date time, and passing all the received input field value. So if this is successful, then we will be getting new record added successfully. If there is an error, then we will be getting the error. So that we can check this on the JavaScript. So console dot log and have the data. Whatever is echoed, either it is success or it is error, it will be shown, it will be accessed by the data, and we are going to console and check it. Click on console. Refresh this. Let's start adding this console. Let us give one review and the name David and test. Click on submit, and there we have got the error warning MySQL connect on line number 10. On the PHP line number 10, what is causing the error? And on line number 27, so it says it could not find the database rating. It's ratings, I'm sorry for the spellings, it's actually ratings. Now we should not get the error. Let's try it again. One star test, click on submit. So it says new data added successfully. Now let's check. Click on browse. It should, now it's added 2 times. Let's try to do it one more time. 5, my name, test, submit. Let's check whether it is inserted 2 times. Yes, it is inserted only one. That means we are able to insert the value. Now that is cool. Now you can see after submitting, I want the model to get closed and I want to display the value on the HTML. So let's create a separate section on the HTML, so that will only display the ratings from the database. Now let's get into the script. On the success, we want to hide the model. Along with that, we need one more function that will fetch the value from the database and append it to the HTML. Let's see how it's done. We'll give the function name as load data. Let's define this function load data. Now again we would be sending an ajax request, because to fetch all the values. So again data submit, and in this case the action is going to be load data. So the same thing, if the action is set, here it is going to be action. We need to write the SQL query to fetch all the values from the table rating. So now we need to fill all these values. You can see these values. So let's create the variable first. The average rating, average user rating. Average rating is for this one. Average user rating is for star. The total number of reviews, here we will be displaying total number of reviews. total 5-star rating. So this is total 5-star, total 4, total 3, total 2 and total 1. And then we have total average rating. So total average rating would be this one. And not to forget, we have an array as well. So let's fetch all the values using while loop. So here, with the help of while loop, I am inserting individual row into the array, and then I'm checking if the column rating has 5, if the column rating has 4, if the column rating has 3, and each of them I'm going to increment it by 1. And then we have total number of reviews. Total number of reviews is incremented starting from 0, and it will run till the column finishes up. And then the average, as you know how to get the average value. So this function, we were getting boolean, the decimal value. So to convert it, I have used int value of PHP. Now calculating the average user rating and passing all the values to the variable called output and sending it in the form of JSON. So this is object, I'm passing this as string. So we need to access this on the script tag success function. So you can see the JSON.parse, we have accessed it and stored it on the parse data. Now we need to fetch these values individually and place it on the DOM. So for the script, let's try it, refresh it. I think it's not working. Let's just, so to run this, copy this and paste this at the bottom, refresh again. Now it's working well. We have 3 reviews and everything seems to be working fine. Add review 5-star 1. Let's name this Vishal test. Click on submit. So actually 5, we have 2 reviews. Let's just make 3. So we have to clear this as well. We'll write code for this. So after doing this, on the model we need to clear the text. So get these 2 values, we don't need to assign, we just need to refresh it, equal to nothing. The same way, equal to nothing, refresh it. Let's make this 3. What name we can do? We can give Brock and test. Click on submit. So 3 has 1. So invalid left assignment. So actually we can give this way. So it's jQuery, not JavaScript. Now it would work. Cool. Actually the code is working fine. Now we need to create the DOM over here. Let's start creating the DOM. For that, let's work on the progress bar. So we are passing the width. Refresh this. We're changing the progress bar width based on the received ratings. We're dividing it, you can see, to get the percentage. Total 5-star rating divided by total reviews and divided by 100 into 100. Cool. Now we need to fill this star. So we have given this main star, the class main star. So doing the calculation and adding the text warning class to it. Cool. So before loading, we are checking whether there is row using this condition, and then we are running the for loop to access the integer value. Then simply we are just designing the HTML and passing the appropriate value inside it. We refresh it, you can see this is the HTML, and getting the first value is very easy. Char at function will take care of it. Alright, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening.